beans. Is that a cat?
Yeah.
And
In progress. You are in the meeting now. There are 5 participants in the meeting. This meeting is being recorded.
So, is anything else joined?
Yeah.
Okay, you're joined here?
Yep.
Okay, so if you're joined here, just make sure you're muted
Oh, yeah.
and that your audio, okay, perfect.
Yep. So you actually probably just turn the audio back on.
Okay, so that's good, audio is ready. What's the last step?
We need to get the panoramic set up.
Correct, yeah. So then this guy, that's right.
Black in my car.
It's off, so I can't do it.
Oh, okay.
Fortunately, Cooper is all taken care of, so,
Yeah.
but he's gonna arrive a little late.
Are these the instructions on how to set it up? Yeah. Don't worry, Don. What's that? No, I'm, Don. Kind of. Oh, Don. Don. This is about making sure you're taken care of. Good news, yeah.
I don't know.
Somebody's scrambling.
Me. This person thing is like, I can't get it downloaded from the website, and so, and I work till 10 last night, melatonin at 1 in the morning, trying to get to sleep, so then I overslept this morning, and I think,
Yeah.
good morning!
Are you sure on the Arctic Parks Foundation, right?
Yes, I am. Oh!
From Kim, K9, trainer,
Isn't that awesome?
yeah, when I dropped our dog off there for morning mountain,
That is so cool. Thank you. And, so the,
put that on here.
we voted and we're donating to the arts and parks.
okay, all right, I'll memo that over. If you have an Arctic Parks memo or somebody write you a check.
Oh, I thought it was getting.
Well, I can do whatever, yeah, so I got, basically, I had 50, well, I had $100. Actually, you want to work at one, I got $50 cash, so I can cash, card.
I think he's close. I think he's close.
We have a online donation.
He's convinced.
Right there.
Yeah. So much online, that one? I don't know.
He makes a good point. He makes a very, very good point.
Yeah, I can do that.
Thank you.
Yeah, sounds good.
You know who that head
It's time to
person is
go.
gonna be?
Are you the new audio guy? You're the audio guy. Okay.
He's gonna event.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Let me just get ready here. Okay.
Drink of choice.
Hang on, ready? Oh, your coffee?
What happened to your beer can?
It's 7:30 in the morning, Larry. Yeah, that's
You're a
starting.
Viking.
Wait till 9. Okay,
That's their breakfast,
is it?
Viking beer, yes.
Viking beer. Chris, you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Absolutely. Please join me in the pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
4-way test. it's over there if you can see it, or you should know it by heart, right?
Yeah.
We should all know it by heart. I don't, like, that's the truth. Pardon?
The things you really say in there.
Okay, ready? Okay, is it the truth? What? Okay, you do it, Larry.
You do a great job, Rachel. Start us going.
Let's recite the four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it the truth?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will
Will
it
build
build
goodwill and better
better
friendships?
friendships?
all concerned. Fifth,
Done.
Arr,
we're done.
arr.
See?
Thank you very much. Okay, Friday Inspiration, Eileen. Hello, online people.
Hello.
Hey, hi. Hi, Kristen. Okay, hey, look at my hat.
I know, I
Very
love
good.
it. It's awesome.
It's gonna tip my head. My head's big, but geez. Okay, Eileen, do you have a Friday Inspiration?
I do. And this comes from Ralph Waldo Emerson. And it is, unless you try to do something beyond what you have already mastered, you will never grow.
Ooh, good one. That's yeah. I need more coffee.
Good stuff.
Okay, do we have any guests today?
We will have a guest, she'll be arriving
Our
in
speaker?
a few minutes.
Okay, awesome. We have a good one.
Lorna.
Lorna?
Oh, yes.
Well, good morning, Lorna.
Such a renowned guest, she has her own badge.
And parking spot.
Yes.
Okay, so birthdays. I wrote it out today, so I won't screw it up. Happy birthday to Marcus. He's on the 6th. We don't have any spouse birthdays this week. Wedding anniversaries, we have Kendra and Chad Pinkelman. We have Keith and Elisa Partington, James and Angie Monroe, and then a Rotary anniversary to our guest of 25 years.
I have a birthday this month.
It's not this month, it's between last Friday and today, or last
Oh.
Saturday and today.
I stand
But I
down. My
still-
apologies.
Wait for it.
Okay, hold on. On birthdays, member birthdays, we have Eileen Levering coming up on August 24th. How's that? You'll get that's a preemptive strike.
Yay, thank you, Madam President.
Okay, so announcements. Do we have any announcements? Yeah.
Just, our guest arrived, our speaker today, this is Jesse Barton from Eon Energy.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us. I'm looking forward to your presentation. Okay, so President's Report. We have a lot of things to talk about, but they're all within committees. So let's get rolling on that. Past President Ken is not here. Treasurer's Report.
Oh, just a moment, wait for it.
We'll come back. Secretary.
Secretary's report, just a reminder to pay your dues, and board meeting is next Thursday, the 12th, at Brian Reese's office across the street. Hi, Greg.
Rotary Clubhouse.
Rotary Clubhouse now, and the storage, the number 2 storage unit, because that's where a few things go that will be announced here today. And then August is membership month for Rotary International. That's it.
Thank you, Gary. Are you ready, Treasurer?
Yeah, I wrote notes, I wonder what happened to them. Okay, so we have back here, we have copies of financial statements that you really like having paper and reading numbers. They're back here. So there's one for the club and one for the foundation. And just some quick summaries. The club's checking account looks good at almost $14,000. And we have an investment account, which is our Vanguard investment account, and it's up to $16,800. And let's see, then on the foundation, now the foundation has total assets of $122,000, which sounds pretty awesome. However, $75,000 of that is endowment, and so that's principal that can't be spent. We only spend the earnings. And last year's earnings, I don't have the exact number, but it seemed like it was about $12,000. And we have until the end of 2021 to spend that. now, we should spend some of that money on community, it needs to be a local community project. And so you know, speak up and we'll put money to work. And then we also have 15,000 that's set aside for the food bank. The only other thing I have is that I had a surprise deposit in our foundation checking account that I have no idea where it came from. It says on the bank statement, it's cyber grant, CAFA, that's $242 and odd cents. If you have any idea what that is or where it came from, let me know.
Could it be from Smile, Amazon?
No, I thought about that. So anyway, we have a surprise $242, and so that's always nice. So that's where we stand.
242.
I have a question. Did we get any money from, Jay Hong?
Was he the one that was supposed to be from Denver?
I'm hoping.
Okay, no.
I haven't seen it.
Okay, I'll follow up with him then.
Okay.
Yeah, sponsor money's coming in nicely, so that's great, thank you.
What are we up to in sponsors?
We're over 21,000.
21.
Pledged, yeah.
Pledged, yeah.
And of course, this is just in July, we had 7,100 that have actually been deposited.
In true treasurer fashion, pledge versus deposit.
That's right.
I have a $2,000 check from, Lakeside Endodontics, but they made it out to me. So I'm gonna go shopping, no, I'm gonna go to the bank today and sign that over to Rotary. So, yeah, kind of funny, but
They're a really great supporter.
they are.
So, and they do what type of,
Endodontics, if you need a root canal, Dr. Edamati is fabulous.
and where's he located?
He is across from Costco in Everett.
Yeah, he's good.
You must look needy.
I refer a lot to him, so, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so if you ever need a root canal, Dr. Edamati is your guy. President-elect.
What?
Oh, it's.
Yes, good. So, my training's starting, I guess, which is gonna be up in BC, and I think the border's gonna open pretty soon, I think. So that'll be kinda cool. Sure enough.
I'll drive you.
Okay, good. I think it's in White Rock, somewhere on the beach, I heard, but anyhow.
You mean on the rocks, which is my favorite.
Yeah, right, it's a martini. But anyhow, that's coming up, I think, in November, so that'll be kind of fun. And then we have, of course, the Vikings Courts and Cakes in Coin coming up, so we've got a lot of stuff to do there. And I think Brian, his office across the street, will be bringing in, everybody's gotta bring 2 bottles of beer or a 6-pack or whatever, and then a couple bottles of nice wine, no upchuck wine, and it's hard to return that stuff. And then everybody needs to bring a basket, it could be a lot of different things, and then you can bring the basket here. Not allowed to have alcohol inside the building, I guess, so put it in your car, and then we can walk across the street. I did talk to Brian, he's excited about kind of tracking all that stuff and everything, so we can just move it across the street, so that'd be kind of fun. We're just glad we have somebody that's excited.
We're all excited,
We're all
Gary.
excited about that.
Jeez.
Right.
When do we start bringing stuff?
Today.
Today?
Yeah.
That's a good time to begin.
Right.
Is Brian gonna set up receiving hours, or is it bring it to the meeting and then we'll take it across the
I
street
think
after the meeting?
I don't know that that's been finalized or whatever, but that's kind of my thought. He would be here, then he could open up his door over there, we could shovel it over there or whatever, so. That's kind of one of the thoughts, and we're working on a lot of different things. One of the things is, ticket costs, we're going through all that, how much to charge the door or for a ticket. And I have a question for everybody. So how many people have sold a raffle ticket? Awesome, good. People in the back, people in the front, nobody in between.
It's a ticket sandwich.
Amelia has sold a lot. Yeah, I think Amelia has sold the most.
How many?
10.
That's awesome. Thank you, Amelia.
Yeah.
Wow. Connor sold the first one.
He sold one for
Another thing to think about in the auction, we always have like fund a cause, which is a biddable item in the live auction where we put money into it. And then we like donate that money to a cause. And some of the causes have been like Hungry Hearts and different things like that, and the playground last time. And so let's think about something that we can do that with. One of the things I thought of what some clubs do is they do a fund the cause kind of for the club, and then that money can be more distributed to different things, different projects or whatever. So keep that in your mind. If you have something, either email Rochelle or Gary or me, and we can kind of figure that out. So.
I have a suggestion.
Yes,
Bridge receiving.
I love that.
Joyce and Gary and I went and toured, and it is amazing. They are keeping, these are for new foster kids. So they're this is their first transition, yeah. It's their first experience with foster care. They work really hard to keep siblings together, which is so huge.
Yeah.
It's really, if you get it, you've got to go.
Yeah.
They're on the list.
Yeah, good.
We have a couple on the list. We're just looking for more
Okay.
to choose from, but they're definitely on the list.
Yeah, so that would be great. That's a good thing. Then we'll probably have a little vote on whatever the deadline is and go with that or something. And then, we're gonna have a meeting after the board meeting for Corks and Cakes, so if people wanna stick around or whatever, we'll kind of finalize a few things. We have,
After the board meeting or after today's meeting?
after the board meeting.
Next Thursday?
Or today, I guess, yeah, we can do it today. I think we talked about that, yeah, after today. Yeah, after, 8:31.
Because we're going to be on time.
Yeah, so anyhow, I think that is kind of it. I did talk to Scott Smith, who said he'd help with beer and wine procurement and donations of wine and beer and maybe some pours. We kind of have, not a dilemma, but I'll get this in it. And I did reach out to Tracy. I think he'll help out a bit. And I did talk to Steve Hobbs the other day, and he's all in. He's going to school, but he's all in, talking to Sam Michelle about getting all that wine and things like that. So that'll be kind of cool. So we're working on that. Scott Smith's in. So I think that's probably about it. The kind of sort of semi-dilemma is, COVID thing is still out there and kind of heavy shoulder weighting, and what are we doing and what's going to happen. And the Corks and Cakes thing's like 6 weeks away, so we got to be working on that. The dilemma is online versus in person or a hybrid or whatever, and the liquor control boards might grant us both ways, blah, 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 blah. So we'll talk more about that after this meeting. That's all I have.
And just a quick plug on that,
Yeah.
tickets to sell, I have them, if you need them.
Oh, yes. Tickets, sponsors, you still do sponsors, so there you go.
Thank you. That was amazing. Thank you. Okay, so, ahoy.
Ahoy.
You're back early.
Yeah, great.
Wind report. It must have been the gale force wind. Okay, club services, Keith Hardy said, we are looking for a club services person, because Keith is really busy with his real job. So if there's anyone that is interested in club services, that would be amazing if you could take over. Amelia, thank you did you make the coffee this morning? Did you make the coffee this morning?
Yes,
I make it every meeting.
I'm just confirming, I wasn't here because I slid in under the.
Even today.
Even today, thank you.
Excuse me,
Yes,
I have a question. I don't plan to be here on the 4th, so I need to teach somebody how to work the coffee maker. And I was thinking of Larry.
There might be another Larry.
Flames coming up now.
Larry, I'd like to show you how to work the coffee maker. It's very easy.
Yeah, but these-
And I don't mind doing it every Friday.
thank you very much.
It's automatic.
Larry,
Thank you so much.
Well, if Gary can figure it out, then I can do it.
it's a new one.
Yeah, right.
It's a new system. Do you accept the challenge? Okay. Community services, Brian. Oh, there you are. And we were talking about you earlier, about how awesome it is that you're collecting our beer and wine for us.
Yeah, I don't know how much of it'll be left by the time we have.
That's what I was thinking.
But-
That's why you don't bring it to mine
Just
anymore.
the weekend.
We're in your house every day.
Yeah, hey, you guys bring all of you want and extra, that's great. Now, everything's good, we still need people for the last farmer's market, both shifts, so. I'll send out an email.
That's
24th?
that's the September, correct?
Yeah,
No.
September.
No, August.
Isn't it ending in August?
It is.
Yeah.
in August.
Yeah, they're gonna.
Ends in
They
August.
have 3 more to go. Yeah, they cut it short.
Oh, well,
Surprise.
we're good.
Surprise. So how do you want to handle donations? I think we're putting, baskets at your office too. Is that true?
I understand.
So do you want us to bring them to the meeting and then walk across right after, or are you open all day, no regular hours? Or-
Yeah, I'm open, yeah, well, to be honest with you, some, Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm rarely in the office, so other than that. But I
9
can take
to
them.
5?
Yeah, 9 to 5, later too, but I can take them, from here too, if you want, I mean, so whatever works for everybody.
That's awesome. That's such a huge help.
What are the baskets do?
I think we're already starting to collect.
Okay.
Tracy's the only one that has started as far as bringing them in, but we're starting to collect right now.
When was the last day?
We always say 4 to 5 days before our event, but we always have them show up the day of.
Bring it as soon as possible.
Yeah, just so we can get it photographed and get it online.
You want beer, wine,
Yeah.
Or more baskets.
2 wine, 2 beer.
I think in the past, we've usually done 2 baskets.
Yeah, either a basket or a gift, some other
Yeah.
type of donation, whether it's a gift card or
Yeah.
something.
That gift card basket.
We had talked about it, that's a Chris question, but we had talked about it, and I think we already have some donations toward it, but I'm not 100% sure if it is a go. Hey, Chris,
Yes.
are we doing the gift card basket, the bouquet of people's extra gift cards? Yes, we are.
It'd be helpful that, so when people turn in their gift cards, to write the value of the gift card. So we have
Yeah.
a good idea how much.
And magic marker,
So
it's on there.
Out on the screen reminding everybody not to bring alcohol into the building.
Right, we do it in the parking lot,
Just saying it again.
like high school.
The parking lot exchange.
Yes, or leave it in your car and then drive it over to Brian.
Let me say school property.
Okay. Is that what's in the,
Yeah, that's what popped up.
So the kids do that in the parking lot.
oh, thanks, Eileen. No, they don't, Larry. Okay, so is that everything, Brian,
It is.
for community? Foundation, Jim, anything for foundation?
No, just, if you wanna kick in the 50 when you pay your dues, it's awesome.
It's super awesome. Tracy, International,
I have no news, although I did see another newsletter come through, so I will forward that to the class.
You might tell them about the, donation for the Nixon fire.
Oh, yes, we did, make a donation to the Lytton fire, the devastation up there. So we donated money to the group fund, and they are buying gift cards and such to help people who lost everything. So that's pretty cool. So thank you to the club, and thank you to everybody who did respond to my email. I really appreciate that.
okay, membership, Ron, good morning.
Good morning. Happy Membership Month. Just a reminder, August 19th, we have our second meeting for our extra meetings that we're going to add. We'll come up with a name of what we're going to call those and kind of itinerary and finalize that on August 19th. At least I'm fairly sure. I have to check with my secretary, Gary, to make sure that's the date that we confirmed, but I think that was the date.
I just checked out 5:30, and we talked about having it at the Brewing Club, or the, Lake Stevens Company Brewing Club.
Perfect. That's all I got.
Awesome, thank you. Vocational Lance, is he?
No.
No,
he's
Blair.
on his way to Idaho for his 40th high school reunion.
Wow.
Oh.
Please skip, wow. Okay.
You'll be surprised all the old people you see. You wonder why they're there.
What time is the Thursday meeting with the brewing company?
5:30 on the 19th, August.
The time I didn't catch that, I think, yes.
And there's a food truck, so, make time to get your food, and last time we met in the tent behind, It was awesome. We ate our dinner and had a beer. Interact, Kristen, good morning.
Good morning. I have signed us up to do a textile drive, starting probably about the middle of September, going until November 6th. So if you're planning on getting rid of anything, cleaning out your closets, please, please, please save bags of clothes for us, okay?
Do you have a list of things that are included? Because isn't it, sometimes it's belts, shoes, bedding, clothes, towels.
Right. Anything that's fabric, but then also, like you said, shoes, belts, and I have a flyer that I will get to you guys soon. But I wanted to get on the books for that.
Awesome. Okay, Scouts. Are you on your phone?
Scouts?
Do you need to hand your phone in?
I do.
Do you have a Scout report?
That was a Scout message.
Scout's always prepared.
Yeah. So, yeah, they're doing good.
That's awesome. So I do know that our girls troop in 88 is also doing a textile drive. So if you have anything, I have a neighbor in the troop, she's collecting in my neighborhood. So if you have anything to bring next Friday, I'll collect it if you want to give it to the troop and deliver for you. Okay, public relations.
We seem to be getting a pretty decent amount of traffic just in Facebook. I've been trying to keep us engaged in the community pages and everything like that. So lots of attention. There was lots of people from the Rotary Club at Meatheads last night, so that was pretty awesome for me.
How'd that go?
It seemed like it went pretty well. There's a lot of people there. I know my table definitely did their part to contribute.
You dipped in the jar?
I did. Well, I handed him some cash. So
Nice.
okay. Yeah. And then as far as our IT stuff, really quick, our IT team has grown too, because this is my last meeting for a couple of months. So yeah, I'm gonna have to be remote after this for a while just because of my own work schedule. So Don is going to be doing our setup moving forward. Chris, the school district IT guy, is still going to be helping. And thanks to Lance, we have our first piece of equipment with a donated Chromebook that is set up over there.
That was awesome.
Yep. So yeah, I'm still looking to get the rest of the equipment. I'll have a presentation at the board meeting for what we're looking at cost-wise and stuff. Yeah.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you. And we're going to be doing, as Dressed as Vikings, we're doing they call it celebrity pour, right, or celebrity bartender up at Meathead. So the Rotary Vikings are going to be doing a date too. Are you shocked?
Sounds cool.
It's going to be super awesome.
Yeah, Kevin was doing it last night.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin for Food Bank.
Yeah.
Oh, were you there?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
You stopped by. It was great.
Okay, who wants to be Sergeant of Arms today? I think Dave's still on his trip. Larry, you did so great last week. I wasn't here.
But I have to learn coffee.
You can do it. Bring your wife. Bring Linda. She'll do it.
Bring Linda?
Yeah, she'll.
She's in California.
Okay, never mind.
Oh, my God, you're loose.
Where's your bucket? Oh, there's your bucket.
Ready to roll?
Oh, do you want to do
You don't have, you're supposed to hand it to me.
Kendra, good morning.
Yeah.
Ask Kendra what the Kendra new means.
Kendra new.
Wait,
What is Kendra new? Happy
I have a
wedding
lot of
anniversary.
noise on my end. I'm having a hard time hearing you guys.
Hey, maybe we
Wait,
could show the kitty.
I think the kitty wants to watch Rotary.
The kitty has been looking at my phone a lot, but okay. So what's going on? I heard my name a bunch.
Okay, so happy anniversary to you and Chad.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And to the cat. And your screen name, it says Kendra New. What does that mean?
I have no idea. I don't know. When I logged into Zoom, it asked me to it just said, is this your username? And so I just clicked okay. And it's never done that before. So I had I had Zoom meeting IDs associated with this account. So I didn't want to change it. So I just said, yes, if this is what you previously had for me, that's what it is.
Sounds good. Okay, we ready to roll?
You can pull a ticket out of the bucket. Don't worry, there's no alligators in it. And if you read the last three numbers. That was just me. Just the last three numbers.
Last three numbers are 312.
312.
Oh, man.
That's right after me.
Must be mine.
That was it.
Oh, no. Hole in one.
All right, Laura.
Yeah.
Okay.
All
All right.
Now comes your ticket. If you win, make sure you don't give the money to Lauren.
See if you get out to Lauren. You won't have to money, you won. Just ignore it. You invest it, don't give it to her.
Yeah, I know, you said, oh, I'll do that. I said,
Yeah.
now what do you want me to do?
Pull it back out of the hat.
Oh,
Son of money.
oh, I see. Oh, it's ducky, huh?
Yeah, no, you lose.
You all back up. Ducky seat.
As a semi-prize there.
Ooh, gee, I'm glad.
You know Lincoln. You remember him. You live next door?
Oh,
Larry.
Oh, Larry.
Florida's off limits.
Well, I live next door to Newborn Dirt. Okay, who has their pin and badge on? Yeah, we got more with pins and badges, so you get to pay. And then there's last in Jim.
Yep.
Yeah, so
Just time the glasses.
you got a pin and badge? Oh, yeah, you put your pin on your badge. Okay. You got pin and badge, well, you get to pay them. What?
Just showing that I have it here for you.
Yeah, that's why you're paying, because everybody with pin and badge now is doing the dollar thing. Okay. Yeah, see, I want it backwards. Totally unfair. Okay.
Did you say we had that?
You win then, yeah. If you did everything right, you get to pay.
Yeah.
You don't have a badge, so. Winner, chicken dinner. It's $1 because you have your badge and pin.
Okay.
And you don't have to pay, you're semi-regular, no, you don't have a fine. You paid, there you go.
I'm good.
Nothing, oh, you're
I'm a
nasty.
semi.
Oh, you're not.
I'm good.
Ah, so bad you're good.
I don't have either on.
Ah,
I got both.
And we're setting.
good for you.
It's opposite day.
Let's see, what I do, last week, who doesn't have a birthday, who doesn't have an anniversary today, or this week? You don't have an anniversary?
Not till next week.
Will you have your pin and badge on?
I do.
Okay, well, then you get to pay $1.
I will Venmo. I started a tab.
See, that, what would be more fair? I don't know.
Let's get to Happy Bucks.
Huh?
Let's get to Happy Bucks.
Okay, we'll do Happy Bucks.
Yeah.
Are we Happy Bucks?
Happy dollars, well, I don't know, I get to drive down to Tukwila today and pick up a washer dryer unit for my office, so.
Oh,
Really
wow.
excited.
Wow.
Little plumber electrician.
I know it, I know how to plan my day.
You're gonna hook them up?
Yeah,
Totally
it's
electric.
electric, it's electric, so I'm just gonna unplug the plug.
A lot of work.
I'm happy for the rain. Yeah.
Sure, I couldn't drive with my top down.
Happy to be here.
Okay. Are you extra happy?
I have my extra dollars.
Well, that's a thin moment, but I'm happy it's Friday.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy that it rained too, because the water bill is super high.
Better turn your sprinkler.
Well, it's not gonna rain
Yeah.
much. How about you?
Yeah, we had a great road trip. Shell and.
Where'd you go?
Challenge.
Oh, okay, I saw it online. Yeah, you look too happy here.
It's bleeding out.
You don't look that happy.
Well, no.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, well,
Because you have to sit next to him.
yeah,
Yeah.
okay, I'm happy it's Friday,
Just have to add it up.
and I'm also happy that the financial markets keep going up.
Really?
And my portfolio keeps getting, so thank you.
I'm happy about that.
So I don't know, anybody here have a portfolio, put in $1. I know you do.
I do. So I'm happy for the food bank yesterday. Clearly asked Rotary to show up and drink, and they drink. Even though, yeah, I think we're roughly about $2,000.
Here.
That's pretty good.
We're gonna do it every week with you guys.
All right, I don't have any cash, so I'll have to Venmo it.
Oh, okay.
But I'm happy it's Friday, I'm happy for the rain, and, happy for the event yesterday, because it was a lot of fun, and it was good food, and for a good cause.
Yeah, I got $3 happy dollars. I am happy for the rain as well. But I'm also happy because Rotary Youth Exchange is getting into gear again for exchanges to begin next year in 2022. And so the club is considering sending an exchange student or hosting an exchange student. Now's the time to start really getting into gear.
Don't look how you, Larry.
Hey, well, I come back. I've got to bring you the budget. Are you happily married?
You know, I'm happy, it's good to be back, I forgot that I didn't bring cash to this event, though. All I got is $1, but hey, I'm happy, I visited my parents and my sister and my husband back in Michigan, and had a great time. Also, it's good to see the economy opening up again. The airport at O'Hare, Chicago, was packed with lots of people, lots of lines into the restaurants, it was great to see. Yeah, and it was, yeah, and, I did they have signs everywhere in the airport, 6-foot social distancing, they tell you every 15 minutes over the PA, 6-foot social distancing, and then you get in the airplane and you're 3 inches next to everybody for 5 hours solid. It makes total sense to me, of course, yeah.
Oh, okay, good. So don't forget to Venmo $20 to deal with them. That sounds pretty happy.
I'm happy it's Friday and the rain has been refreshing. It's kind of fun to sit out in the rain now instead of the sun.
Well, that explains the bold.
Well, I'm happy that, I am going to a wedding, long weekend in wine country, Oregon.
Oh, Dundee. Oh, that's great.
And I got on the map and I kind of looked at the house that we're going to stay at, and there's a half dozen wineries within about a quarter mile.
Oh, yeah.
Life is good.
Everywhere.
So you can walk.
Yeah. And no smoke, looks like.
You gotta give me the names of those and I'll tell you which ones I really like.
Okay. You should go to Argyle. Okay, I saw that.
Yes, Don.
Argyle.
Yeah.
Don't forget about your 2-bottle donation, Don. Don't forget about your 2-bottle wine donation.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, if you visit a winery, you have to bring 3 back.
Yeah.
Or more, 2+.
Yeah.
So I have can I do a happy 10?
Sure.
Are you done? Yes. Are you, who was that, Eileen?
It was me. Sorry. Can I do a
Yes,
happy?
good morning. You need to go.
So I have a happy 10. Thank you all who came out and supported Sherwood at the Lombardi's event. It was fantastic, and we should have numbers today. I'm super excited. We had a great graduation party for my husband, which included making him walk because he didn't get a chance to walk to get his graduation. So we all lined up, we played the graduation march, and he walked from one end of the yard to the other, and he got to do his tassel. So that was fun. And I just appreciate being in this club, and you guys are all amazing. And I'm just so blessed to be a part.
That was so nice. That was a fun Sherwood event.
Anyone, any other screen person?
Okay, Jackie, are you really online this morning?
I really did. Can you believe it?
Jackie! Okay, round of applause for Jackie, you guys. Good morning, you look amazing.
$10 happy bucks just to be here. And actually, I'm the same way. I'm really happy it rained today. I know that's weird.
Not weird, you have a huge heart. You need the water.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, Ron or Sam, do you have a happy? Are you happy?
Ron's not there.
I'm always happy. I
Yeah,
gave
you
my
are.
I gave my $10 to Venmo, and it's not raining where I'm at, so I'm happy.
Oh, vacation house.
And Sam?
Sam, are you happy? You look really happy. Good
I'm always
morning.
happy. I will give 5 happy bucks because A, it's raining, and B, because, well, just because. Raining and I'm happy. So I'll send happy bucks. I'll have a tab running too.
It's kind of, yeah, thank you. Okay, are we good?
It's all good.
Okay, we're running. Okay,
Lori.
Dawn, you're up.
So I'm happy
Oh,
that
my-
Deb's investments are doing really well. Plan for my, my retirement. And, yeah, I know. And I'm happy this rain because I'm on well water, and so, you know, we're pretty stingy with our well water. And I also forgot to tell you guys that last year, the last 12 months for the tax bus, we've raised about $7,600 for happy bucks. So that goes into the endowment. So good job there.
The end.
Oh, and I have 1 yellow squash left. If you want to take some squash home, there's 1 yellow squash left. How are rhubarb sales? You know, I just didn't take time to bring some, but I've got plenty. Come on, that is almost as easy as it is.
I think so. I'm gonna check. I have a couple videos, which always is.
My Zoom clothes are. You just go out to the lake. That works.
All right, and then should I share screen with Zoom, you think? Yeah, that'll allow everybody.
I'm looking forward to seeing your house.
I have one. Oh, perfect. Yeah.
Not that many people.
No. Most people don't realize that. City council, we've never been asked one time we did this stuff.
All right, so I'll introduce Jesse. Jesse Barton from Helion Energy, which is actually a Redmond-based company, I believe. Is that correct, Jesse?
Yeah, for a bit.
For a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit longer, Redmond-based, but I saw basically a news clip. It took me a while to get to the clip. It was like late last week, and I thought that'd be interesting. And we had an opening this week, so I thought, well, I'll put together some videos, you know, and we'll just learn about that. But I also reached out to the company, and I was really surprised that you were able to do it on such short notice. So I appreciate that. But with that, I'm just going to turn it over to you,
Yeah, awesome.
and you can tell us a little bit about yourself and the company and what's going on in Snohomish County.
Yeah, I'm excited to do that. Good morning, everyone. It's really great to be here. I got up a little earlier than I normally do because right now I live a little south of Seattle, so I apologize for coming in late. But appreciate you and appreciate Dawn for inviting me because I'm really excited to talk about Helion. I do want to check on Zoom. Are you able to see the PowerPoint? Good. Okay, awesome. So my name is Jesse Barton, and I am the communications lead for Helion. And Helion is a fusion energy company with the mission to enable a future with unlimited clean energy. And just like Dawn was saying, last week we had an event in Everett. So I don't know, did anyone see this picture in the last week? Is anyone familiar with this?
I did.
Just a couple of people. So just last week, we broke ground on a new facility in Everett, South Everett on 75th Street. And today I'm here to talk about what that means for us and what that means for Snohomish County. And I'm going to do that by talking a little bit about what fusion is, give a little bit of a high school physics lesson maybe this morning. Then I'll talk about our team and then what we've been doing and what we will do in Everett. So I want to start though by talking about fusion. Does anyone know what fusion is?
Sort of.
Kind of, okay. Chris, I think I heard that's your name, right?
That's my name.
Chris, can you kind of give us a rundown of what fusion sort of is?
So I think fusion kind of like has to do, I could be wrong.
Yeah.
Has to do with like radiation and a nuclear power plant, isotopes and all those kind of things, and you make energy.
Close. Radiation probably doesn't come into the mix there. With radiation probably doesn't come into the mix with fusion. Does anyone want to like help Chris out?
Please.
No? Yeah, that's a great thing. Yeah, so what was your name?
Greg.
Greg? Okay, so Greg said it's the opposite of fission, and that's right. So nuclear power, typically when we think about nuclear power, that's fission, and that's when you take really big atoms and you split them apart, and that creates a ton of energy. Fusion is the opposite. Fusion brings atoms together. So fundamentally, fusion is the process that our sun and all stars use to create their own energy. And they do this by combining atoms together. Atoms, like you kind of see in this visual here, they come together, and that combined atom has less mass than the original two atoms. And again, if we go back to high school, we remember that Albert Einstein came up with this equation of the conservation of energy that says energy equals mc squared, which means that if there's energy, it has to go somewhere. And because the new atom has less mass and less energy, energy gets released in the process. So that's a little bit of an overview of like the science behind fusion. Now this creates a ton of energy, which is why fusion has long been regarded as the holy grail of energy. And that's because it's clean, it's reliable, and it's abundant. So fusion creates zero carbon, no carbon emissions whatsoever, and it has no long-lived waste. So Chris, you said something about radiation. In this case, because it's not fission, there's no radioactive materials that come from fusion. A nuclear power plant has a big problem where they have this waste that is radioactive for tens of thousands of years, and for fusion, that's just not the case. It's a totally different process. Fusion is reliable, so we need renewables like wind and solar. That's absolutely true if we're going to help with the climate crisis, but one of their problems is that they're reliant on wind or they're reliant on solar. Fusion, that's not the case. We can, do fusion all times a day, as much as we need, and it's a controlled reaction, which again, opposite of fission, it's not lots of atoms breaking apart in a chain. Instead, it's just really fusion doesn't want to happen on Earth. So whenever it stops, it stops. There's no risk of like a runaway meltdown like there would be in fission. Yeah.
To achieve fusion, to force the atoms together, don't you have to use energy?
Yeah, so we'll get to that. And then finally, fusion is abundant. The fuel that you use for fusion comes from water. The fuel that we use is called deuterium, and deuterium is an isotope of hydrogen, and it's found in all types of water. It's actually, you probably have enough deuterium in your body right now to power your home for 2 years, which is really fun. It's non-toxic. It just is a special type of hydrogen that's in water. This 500 milliliter bottle of deuterium oxide, heavy water, if you've heard that before, it's heavy water. This 500 milliliter bottle of deuterium oxide could power a home for more than 800 years. So it's abundant, and this all adds up to why fusion energy has long been regarded as the holy grail of energy. Now, Helion is trying to capture this energy source and commercialize it and to make electricity and put electricity on the grid. Now, fusion has kind of has a reputation of being sort of a wacky science experiment, or it's 30 years away, but that's not the case. Helion has been doing fusion for ever since we've been founded, and we've been doing fusion at commercially relevant conditions every day since January 2020. So in Redmond, Every day I'm sitting in my office, I hear fusion happening, the control room is on, so we do fusion every day. Now, I've given a little bit of a background of fusion, but now I want to talk about who Helion are, what our team is. So our team was founded in 2013 by our CEO, Dr. David Kirtley, our Chief Technology Officer, Chris Peel, George Petrovic, and John Slough. Since our founding in 2013, we've raised more than $75 million. We're a privately funded company, and we've been funded by Y Combinator, Mithril, Capricorn, Sam Altman, Dustin Moskovitz, and Reid Hoffman. We've also received grants from the U.S. Department of Energy, specifically related to fusion and to energy. In the last year, our team has doubled in size, and we now have 58 employees. I'm one of those new employees. I've only been here for about 3 months. But we've doubled in size, and we just again announced last week that we're expanding from Redmond, where we are right now, to Everett. And I'll talk about our expansion to Everett in just a bit. But first, I want to talk about our technology, our specific technology. So this is a look at what our fusion machine looks like, and it looks much different than any other fusion device you would see. And that's because we do fusion in a very unique manner. We do a pulsed approach to fusion. That starts with our fusion fuel. So like I was saying earlier, deuterium is an isotope of hydrogen. Does anyone know like what an isotope is or what makes something an isotope?
Yeah, it's up there on the screen.
Yeah. So hydrogen, which is super common, that's what's in water. Hydrogen is just this positive, this proton, and this electron, and that gives it and balances out its charge. But an isotope is whenever you add this little neutron in here, and it doesn't change its charge. Instead, it just makes it heavier, which is why deuterium is called heavy hydrogen, because it's basically the same, it's just a little bit heavier. So deuterium found in any type of water, really easy to find. There's already some industrial processes that make deuterium. Helium-3, on the other hand, is an isotope of helium. Usually in helium, you see another neutron right here, but in this case, it just has one. Helium-3 is extremely rare to find on Earth. In fact, if you've heard anything about helium-3, you've likely heard that people want to go to the moon to mine helium-3 because there's a ton of it on the moon. But Helion has patented a process where we make helium-3 from deuterium fusion. So we actually make our own, and this is really cool because helium-3 can be used in fusion, can also be used in MRI machines, quantum computing, cryogenics. It has a lot of applications. So we take those fuels and we inject them as a gas into our fusion device. And I'm going to let this video play really quickly, and I'm going to pause it so I can talk about a few things. So you see this pink here. This is a plasma, and a plasma is a really, really hot state of matter, super, super hot. And I'm going to point out that on our machine, you see these kind of divots, these ruts. Each of these is a magnet, and this plasma, because plasma is like there's a ton of electrons floating around in it, it actually has its own magnetic field. And this magnetic field interacts with the magnetic field that's on the machine. And there's wires that go into these magnets, and whenever those wires fire, they fire the magnet. So the magnet basically turns on, and it interacts with the plasma, and those magnets fire sequentially. So this one will fire, then this one, then this one, then this one, and they move the plasma through the machine. So you'll see that happen here. They move the plasma into the machine, and they meet in the middle. And when they move into the machine, they're moving at crazy fast speeds, 1,000,000 miles per hour, super, super fast. They meet in the middle, and then these magnets that are on the middle are even stronger, and they condense these two. This is now one plasma. The two plasmas came into the middle to meet. They condense them even more, and that compression makes them super dense, even hotter, and they reach temperatures of 100 million degrees Celsius, which is 3 times hotter than the sun's core. Very, very hot. And at that condition, whenever it is 100 million degrees, helium-3 and deuterium can fuse together. Now, this releases energy in the process, and we have a special system that works kind of like regenerative braking in an electric vehicle, where this plasma, like I said, it has its own magnetic field. The plasma expands, and its magnetic field pushes back up against the magnets around the machine, and that causes the electricity to go back into the magnets, and then they get sent back to these capacitors, which are like batteries back here. So then that's how we create energy and we create electricity through this device. I'm gonna let this video run one more time so you can see it. But this is on our website if you want to look at it again and see what we're talking about. 100 million miles per hour, they meet, they compress, they become super dense, 100 million degrees Celsius. Then the plasma pushes back against the magnets, creates a new electric current, and sends back into the capacitors, which is then converted to AC power and then put onto the grid to use as electricity. So the things that we've accomplished so far that prove that we can do this is we've built 6 fusion prototypes since our founding in 2013. Each of these prototypes proves some part of the physics, some part of the science, and shows that our engineering works the way that it should. Our last prototype, our 6th prototype, which is pictured here, like I said, like we were really doing fusion every day. This picture here is our 6th prototype, Trenta, and Trenta reached 100 million degrees Celsius, which is the temperature needed for fusion to occur, and it operated for 16 months, which both of these things no private fusion company has ever done before, and those are the things needed to show that we can do what we say we're going to do. This is why this is why fusion isn't 30 years away. It's just down the street. In those 16 months, we completed more than 10,000 high power pulses. So that's getting those plasmas moving 1 million miles an hour, getting temperatures this high. So that proves that our machine is reliable. Again, it works the way we think it should, even whenever we run it a ton. We have several patents that describe our process and specifically describe that our process of using deuterium to make helium-3 and also doing deuterium-helium-3 fusion. And like I said, we're doing fusion nearly every day. So we've gotten pretty good at this. Our 7th prototype is what we're working on now, which is called Polaris. This will be our first commercial fusion device. So right now it's been all about testing, prototyping, making sure things work the way we think we are, kind of at a small scale. But now we're building Polaris, which will be a commercial device, and it will focus on producing helium-3 from deuterium fusion. And this is what we're building in Everett. So if you look here, this is, this is 75th Street, I think southwest, so like southwest Everett. Boeing is over here somewhere. But this is our new facility that we are now building as of last week. This is where we broke ground last week. And this will be a 30,000 square foot facility that will house this 7th prototype, Polaris. It's right next to our other building, which we call Antares. This is 150,000 square feet, and this will be our new headquarters, manufacturing floor, testing space, and will help us get to the point where we can do what we want with Polaris. So this is kind of what our machine would look like inside a fusion facility. And this will be like the first commercial fusion facility in the world, and it'll be right here in Everett. So we're really excited about that.
So those 3 pieces, when they're operating, reach 100 million centigrade.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what do you have that takes the heat from that to convert it to a usable substance to use power?
Yeah, so a lot of times people have used like water, so they heat steam.
Yeah, but that's so hot.
Yeah. So
water wouldn't work.
Yeah, so in our case, the plasma holds most of that heat, and it's whenever that heat is energy, right? So that energy expands, it makes the plasma expand, and that's what I'm talking about whenever it pushes back against the magnets and creates a new electric field. So it's very similar to how like a magnetic flashlight works. Like when you shake a magnetic flashlight, it powers the flashlight. It's
But
Basically
doesn't
that.
that container get extremely hot?
Yeah, so materials are really, really important. We have some,
So you would take the heat from that container and put it into some substance to transfer it to a turbine and create power.
not quite. It just goes,
What? Oh, the electrical, oh, okay.
it's a electromotive, yeah.
Direct, okay.
Yeah, super direct energy conversion. Yeah, so, yeah, no worries, great question.
The thing gets so hot in the material that it's contained in, does that wear out and you gotta replace that?
Yeah, so that's one of the really cool things that our 16-month test proved. We actually pulled it open. If you look at our Twitter, we have a really cool picture of the type of degradation that happens inside the machine and how the plasma interacts with the material. But because the plasma has a magnetic field and because there's magnets around the machine, we actually try to keep the plasma away from the wall. So there's, maybe this much space between the wall and the plasma, and there only really is going to be problems if that magnet isn't working the way it should. But materials is a super, super important part of this. So we have some really, really amazing world-class chemists that help build materials for this, which is really cool.
Plasma is what's really hot. Is there heat transfer that goes into the magnetic material?
Are you like directly into the magnetic material? So
It's cool somehow.
yeah, so you could turn it off and it would cool within a very quick amount of time. Yeah.
Such an instantaneous.
Yeah. So each of these, whenever I showed this machine, each of these pulses happens at a millisecond time scale. So extremely quick. Right now we operate the machine at once every 10 minutes, but it will eventually be running faster than that at about once per second, and could eventually get to the point where we're doing it 10 times per second. So, I mean, extremely quick.
Does the charge change?
Yeah.
So
you can imagine that the magnets that are around, that the electricity is,
an AC current.
yeah, so the electricity is going this way, and then we make it go back this way, goes back into the magnet.
That's the millisecond change.
Yeah, basically, yeah, a pretty simple level.
So how much electricity does that thing create?
Yeah, so that is part of it. So a big part of fusion is how much energy you take to put in, and then how much can you get out. Right now, no company has made more than they've put in, but we are the closest because we've reached those 100 million degree temperatures. Most companies don't set up their machine to produce electricity. They're focused on energy, where ours from the start we built, which is why ours looks so much different than any other fusion device, has been built for electricity generation, which is why we use a much simpler process than heating steam. Like, heating steam is great, but you lose a lot of energy in the process. So we try to very directly recover that so we can gain really quickly. Yeah.
You see that taking the place of a battery, possibly like for a car or something in a smaller magnitude?
Yeah, it probably, yeah, it wouldn't be inside a car, that's for sure. These are about,
You can charge a car.
I mean,
yeah,
a small one.
they're about, 40 feet long, and you need them to be a certain size. Ours is actually the smallest of all of the fusion devices. There's a big fusion device being built in France right now that takes up 500 acres. It's ginormous, because they're trying to rebuild a sun on Earth, basically.
So Mr. Fusion for Back to the Future, really happen.
Maybe, we'll see.
What's the ratio of energy in versus energy out have you come up with so far?
I don't have those numbers. They're not super public. It's pretty competitive.
It's
Classified.
We'll get it out.
Yeah. All right, so I'm going to show a couple of clips. I don't know how I am on time, but I'm just going to, 8:30 is the cutoff. Okay, well, I will tell you that there are some clips of Governor Inslee, Mayor Franklin, and our CEO speaking at the event. So if you want to go online later, you can check those out. This is our team. I do want to make a plug here. We are hiring 150 new employees in the next 3 years, and those will be people who are really good at precision machining, innovative electronics, and it's going to be really good for anybody that has experience in aerospace or the marine industries. So please tell them to apply.
You have to wear anti-static clothing.
Not that I know of. I haven't been told that.
I don't. Oh, okay, good.
I'm gonna leave this up here. Our website is helionenergy.com. We have a ton of information and some frequently asked questions answered there. We're on Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, and then if you have any questions for me, I'll leave this up. You can email me or catch me on Twitter. But yeah, thanks so much. If anybody has questions, but it seems like we're out of time. Yeah.
Well, we are.
Yeah,
Actually.
But
If anyone has questions, can you say a few
yeah, I can
minutes
stay
and
around.
answer?
Yeah.
Thank you very much. And we do make a $25 donation to Lake Stevens Education Foundation, as a thank you for your presentation.
Oh, thanks. That's awesome. I will let everyone know.
Oh, good.
That sounds great.
And yeah, this will get posted out to our YouTube channel, so this information will be at the end of the meeting, so anybody who wants to look it up can go out to our YouTube channel, look to the end of the meeting, and all of this will be there.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I'm just gonna. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you.
I think we have, Chris, did you have a question?
Yeah, I had a question.
Yeah.
So, there's so much heat there and things like that sort of thing. So what about a disaster?
The disaster.
Yeah, there's so much heat in there, there's a meltdown, or what does that look like?
Yeah, so that's what's amazing about fusion is because it's, again, completely different than fission. Fission, it relies on a chain reaction. So one atom has to break apart and break apart more atoms